you so much. I mean, elegance, beautiful, vibes, honor, recognitions. That is what all I see here today. And as we move to the much awaited, the inaugural panel discussion among the esteemed educators, welcome everyone. I see massive years of experience, to my left and right. And I feel this is something to start over with, the quality in education. I mean, this is what we are here for. MENTORx, representing, RevUp, GSL Edu Excellence, and all the companies who gave us chance, to show our expertise out here. I feel everything starts from what I was in my school days, where I was in the quality in education. And that is what we are still striving, be it school, be it post-graduation. I mean, it's always the journey of person to personality, and the lifelong journey continues. So let's just begin upon with very own Miss Dhriti from Manav Rachna group of schools, and it is really lovely to have you here, ma'am. I would love to have your inputs upon. Your institution has been playing a critical role since years, contributing to excellence and school leadership. So what are the practices you would love to, tell among all the educators that you've been practicing since years?
Good afternoon to all, and thank you, Nancy, for the introduction. Manav Rachna group of schools have been existing since 1997. So we've been into the industry for a long time with 8 schools, 3 in Faridabad, 2 in Gurgaon, 1 in Noida, then Ludhiana, then Mohali. And the journey that I see through all these years has been absolutely very, very fruitful. See, when we talk about quality education, we also need to understand the term first, right? What is quality education? From what I feel and what I have experienced all these years in my 35 years of career, is that if my student, when he walks out of the realms of his alma mater, is confident, is smart, is sure of what he wants, is focused, and ready to face the challenges in the world, is where I think the schools have done their job. And as far as I know, since most of you are here also dealing with higher education, that 99% is not what you're looking at now anymore, right? So when the child moves out and the child knows what to do and how to do, where to go and how to go, is, I think, we prepared them for life. So quality education certainly has to be inclusive, definitely. It has to promote lifelong learning. And according to UNESCO, education throughout life is based on 4 pillars. Learning to know what is around you, learning to do what you should be doing, learning to live together, collaboration is very, very important, and learning to be what you are. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Such a great inputs. Can we have raised the energy of the hall with a round of applause? This is really amazing inputs, ma'am. And moving ahead, I must say, as we say, quality in education, and it's a gateway to personal and professional advancements. Whatever we're doing today, be it career-wise, personally, we all want enrichment in our personal life as well as to leverage that in our professional life, isn't it? I see some nodding heads. So would love to, hear from very respected and esteemed senior in the education fraternity, Mr. N.M. Bhatia. And sir has been the catalyst of innovation and creativity with many school groups. And I feel your alumni must be already high in career out there. You've seen the word out there. So would love to, ask what is the role of this quality of K-12 schools, education and professional life in building a great professional life, sir? Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Nancy. Well, somebody has rightly said, in case you want to change any country, you need to work on the quality of education. That's something which needs to improve, and education has always taken a back seat in this country. There is a quote which says, 21st century kids, those who are studying in schools and colleges, They are 21st century kids. They are being taught by 20th century adults. We all are 20th century adults. We are their teachers. The curriculum is 19th century curriculum. The methodology and the curriculum which is being followed is 19th century curriculum. And it's on the date of 18th century. So what is being taught is as primitive or as old as 18th century. Well, I think we need to understand what is the purpose, what is the objective of education. Well, the first thing is the purpose of education is to make somebody a good human being. That's the first and the most important thing which is required out of education. We need to make our children, we need to make public good human being. That's one. Number two is they need to learn the skills. That's something which was missing in our country, which has been taken care of according to this new National Education Policy 2020. A great emphasis is being given on the skills building and on the teaching of the skills. You need to learn skills, you need to practice them, and then you need to master those skills also. And the third objective is to gain expertise in some field or the other. In case somebody wants to go in for medicine, you need to learn medicine. Somebody wants to become an engineer, you need to study that. Somebody wants to go in for physics, you need to learn that subject. Or in case somebody wants to become an electrician, he needs to learn things related to the field one has chosen. Now, these are the things which make us educated, a good human being, number one. Number two is learning skills. And number three is gaining expertise in some field or the other in which you wish to have your career or which you wish to live with. Well, another thing is, in case we wish to improve quality of education in the country, there are three things which must change. Number one is the curriculum. A lot of work is being done on the curriculum in the country, and hopefully this new policy will bring a lot of changes and will make this curriculum more life-oriented. Whatever we learn in the classroom, I think will come back to the life also. The second thing is the methodology. The methodology, of course, needs to be given due importance, which, of course, the changes according to the latest is experiential learning. What you learn, you experience it. And of course, the third thing is the quality of teachers. That's the most important thing that has to change. A lot of training programs are going on in the country, is very much there. But the teaching profession is going to be a dream job for anybody in this country. I think everything else is going to change with that. We need to have the right kind of people in our teaching profession. That's something which is missing. So a lot more is desired. Hopefully with this new policy and the kind of work and the amount of money which is being spent by the government of India, I think a lot of changes will come in the system. Thank you so much.
This is so amazing, so amazing. And I must say, we all are proud to be educators. We are not SEO agents, we are not marketing people. We are the one, who are the torch bearers in so many lives, and we take responsibility for it. That is what matters. Very rightly said, sir. And I must tell you a little of my experience as we move ahead. The more we dwell into education, innovate or evaporate. That is not just in corporates, that has happened in education. 13-year-old coming up with entrepreneur idea, the schools I visit upon, they just definitely take care of the academics, the bookish knowledge, but they are just coming out of it. The startup ideas, the e-pitching, the hackathons, ideathons, the quality is improved to the level that we all are doing bit. The kind of number of hackathons and ideathons MENTORx have done in the entire schools, I feel the academicians are so robust now. They want to bridge the gap between corporate and education no matter what.
I can see that everyone's trying really hard to carve a niche. But Nancy, I think there are still some roadblocks. And one to begin with is, since I have transitioned from one school to the other, I've noticed The schools which are very academically inclined and are following the national curriculum, even with the introduction of NEP, are still very resistant to adapting and adopting the elements of international pedagogy, which should be integrated, because I think education is about improvising.
Indeed.
Right? So when you're not willing to improvise or adopt or adapt, I think you're at a dead end, right? Two, with all due regard to managements, you need to put aside a fair and substantial budget for teacher training and capacity building. For example, I've seen, since we are here and we are talking about study abroad and counseling, let me tell you from experience, I've headed large groups of schools. For every 1,800 students, there's one career counselor, which is appalling. We still haven't realized that we need to treat counseling students and guiding students not as a peripheral function, but as something which is very core. So I would say that's another roadblock. Convincing the managements that you would need to put aside a substantial budget for teacher training and capacity building. You need to have more counselors and advisors. Every school should have a career advisory cell. But the state is quite appalling, right? Third, and most important, and I really feel very strongly as a career counselor, because I'm a trained career counselor, working closely with IC3 on one of their core committees. Having said that, I would also say that there are a lot of children who are grappling with learning difficulties. I will not use the word disability, right? So they're grappling with learning difficulties and different learning styles. One, I think parents need to be educated that you have to accept it if your child is grappling with a learning difficulty. Don't brush it under the carpet. Two, schools need to put a mechanism into place where you have strong career counselors and behavioral counselors and people who will support children in the classrooms if they have a slightly different learning style. So inclusivity has still not come of age.
So amazing, really. Indeed.
I think these are few. I'm
Wonderful.
sure we don't have so much time.
Not just few. I feel everyone should sit and jot down the points being discussed here. We need to adhere to the time, but trust me, I didn't want to rush through all this because this is such gem of knowledge. It's golden nuggets shared from wonderful years of experience, and very rightly said. You know, I remember my career counseling days when I used to work as a career counselor, starting from Delhi University to IIT Delhi annual fair. It's been 10 years where all schools come over, around 800 educators all over. This is what was needed. I feel we've created this conference like that people are actually working in collaboration rather than in competition, that what we should go back and inculcate in our schools, you know. That is what is needed in today's world. And thank you so much. As we move ahead, I will love Prashant sir to, you know, add his inputs. You know, running Adarsh group of schools, you know, and I'm in public schools and then global, you just ventured into that too. So I feel act local, go global. That is always there. We are deep rooted here. But how you maintain that holistic education, sir, which you are known for? You can probably share that too, but let's be tricky because let's move with the flow.
With GSL on board, I thought I'll talk about something different. So I have a 2x2 points that I wish to share. First, about the learners. You know, education still remains the most powerful tool which everybody can use to change the world. The second most important tool is your belief system. I'm a storyteller, so I'll put it in three minutes. That's what I think you can give me. So, you know, jungle ka raja, sher hai, everybody knows, but you know, there are more majestic animals in the market also. The tiger is actually there, but sorry, the elephant is majestic, the giraffe has its own ways, the alligators and the rhinoceros. But the lion still remains the king of the jungle simply because he believes in himself. So belief system is the second most important tool that you definitely need to excel. This is from the learner's perspective. Coming back to the schools and the education and the system that we have, I'd like to go back a little bit to create an ecosystem where we have top-notch individuals we also need to delve down deep into, and since GSL is there, that's what I want to share this point is, as educationists, we need to ensure that our children reach the right institution once they finish school. They're pampered and nurtured in a cozy environment in schools. But when they read abroad, the mother has certain issues, whether my child studying in a university, even in India, how far is the actual stay from his campus? How is he or she going to eat the meals? Is he going out to a McDonald's and KFC across the street at 9 o'clock? Especially with the current scenario in our country, whether Kolkata or Delhi, I'll not delve into that. So the mothers need to know all those things. How many days in a week is my child actually studying? What is he doing apart from those 2-3 days? Are they doing something concrete in the remaining time that they have? The rankings are, good enough indicators to give a certain benchmark, but there are others also. I state these points because the school that I run started in Pakistan, Lahore, back in the 30s. In Delhi also, it's a 50-year-old institution. I personally have spent 5 years abroad, so I have these points in mind. I personally take care of the alumni relation and the study abroad aspect of our schools, apart from being an economist by nature. Thank you. I have not answered your questions still.
No worries at all. That's the beauty of educators. They wish to give the knowledge which is needed much on time. And as we move ahead, ma'am, your experience has been tremendous, Miss Seema, but I'll love to, ask you upon definitely, being a head of the school, heading so many schools, not just one upon, you have so much experience out there. What do you feel is the difference between, how we choose to do practices, Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z? Are we really moving across and changing, revolutionizing the education, or the core is same?
Thank you so much.
That's a good one for you.
It is, but I would just like to tell you something, how ubiquitous education is everywhere and why we choose to be in a certain institution. On this platform itself, you have to represent in the same institution, that is Manav Rachna, and I feel so proud of that fact. If we keep, whichever generation we talk about, if we keep things simple, it goes faster and it hits the right thing. We talk about great pedagogies, but I firmly believe, and I have seen over more than 2 decades, that it's a combination of both contemporary and classic education. Your conventional pedagogies are not to be trashed. There are certain things that hit the children's brain better with conventional pedagogy, and there are certain things that hit it harder with the conventional one. So both of them are to be respected, but we need to equip our educators with the decision ability and skill to identify which topic is to be delivered through which pedagogy. I am sure educators over here would agree with me. Therefore, we also need to equip these generations coming with the ability to first reflect, then identify an opportunity, because once the child reflects and is capable of reflecting, will know there'll be opportunities lying everywhere. But he or she has to identify which one is for him or her and which suits his or her personality, like you said, from person to personality. So in order to help children grow from person to personality is education in today's world, I feel. And once they have reflected upon, identified an opportunity, then the ability to set a goal and remain steady on that route to reach that goal. If we have, as educators, been successful enough in doing so, I don't think there is any curriculum or any syllabus that will not give you an opportunity to instill these skills in the children. And once we've done this, I think we've made them successful.
Wow, this is really amazing. Why I asked you this one, I'm a mother of 2 beautiful souls, 11 and 7. So yesterday, both my children were preparing as they had to MC on Teachers' Day. So I just told them, write 5 lines, I am doing some work. And what my 5-year-old daughter did, AI. And she's like, Mama, this is really a wonderful paragraph. I said, it's not written by you. Mama, what does it need to write? The innocence, she doesn't know, but the word she is in that tells not to put your brain, it is all right there on your platter. So how to maintain that quality of education when we are in AI, chat GPT and Meta AI, I mean everything flooding from here and there. I never told her that exists, but due to WhatsApp, she knows it all. So you know how to cater to that. I would put this question in your lap, ma'am.
Yeah. Children are facing, and I would say even teachers and parents are facing with challenges if we are to continue on the exposure to social media and these AI and Meta and all. These are definitely advantages, but for children to learn so much more, and the connectivity being fast and the information being made so easy and quick for them, but the disadvantages are also many, especially at school level, I would say, where children getting the exposure are not, they're putting their thinking caps on. They are not, into more of what they should be. That could be reading books. That could be, learning by doing themselves. It's not enough, though we talk about being creative and making their own projects themselves. But due to the exposure, the problem that is coming in is in their thinking or their behavior. So the behavior which could be leading to indiscipline in a class, not listening to the teachers and not listening to the parents even, which leads to the problems which I can talk about in the experience that I have been having, which is more than 27 now, though this is very recent, the technology and everything. Children are not as creative as we want them to be. Some are, yes, they are very original, they are talented, they are very bright students, but they, when we get into the behavior issues, then those fights or not obeying the instructions given by teachers, so they have that disrespect for the teachers and the educators, and not listening to the parents also at home is causing a lot of behavior problem in children. And post-COVID also, which we are aware that it has been more. So I think all these exposures to the social media and the internet and the Google is quite disturbing, when children just have everything a cut, copy, paste, and being spoon-fed through the artificial intelligence. So I think it's a big
challenge for the educators today.
Yes.
To maintain a thin line between inclusive.
Children are not obeying their parents. They are getting out of control of their parents, not listening to their guidelines given by the teachers and parents both. So there are behavioral problems. And the number seems to be increasing. Yes, there are good children in a class. There is a cream of students who are serious about studies, who give in their 100%.
Indeed. I see the signs to adhere to time, but what to do when education is so deep around and we have so many educators under one roof? We have to give justice to their thoughts. Last but not the least, very dearest Ms. Hazel, who's running Angel Group of Schools, running around a fleet of schools in Delhi, Gurgaon, and then being the head of the school, being the director. How you manage each principal out there, each MD, each teacher, and tell them how to maintain your vision of quality of education. That's very important. So let's have a quick one from you.
Introduction about my background. I'm a lawyer by profession, first of all, and having done my law degree in both Indian and international law, I pursued the career for a good 12 years. And then this paradigm shift into the field of education. So I have a very varied experience of how the Indian society and how the culture works, the socio-economic disparities, the unavailability of resources. So my first vision and thought process in developing the vision for all the schools, for professional upgradation of the principals of my schools, teachers of my school, I always start with the base, that is humility, inclusivity, appreciation, acceptance, and resilience. The first is, in our schools, such like schools, public schools where children study, there is plethora of availability of resources, best quality teachers, upgraded curriculums, so much of exposure to arts, theatre, dance, music. The children are given so many opportunities, the teachers are given so much of upgradation of what is happening in the world around. They are updated with everything. So first of all, I always tell them, have gratitude in your hearts and in your minds for what you are being served